Beautiful. Tranquil. Just what I needed. Even here. All right. I guess it's time to wake and bake. Popovers. Today's recipe is another trip down Indulgence Avenue. But hey, speaking of streets, Chef Gabe is on the road, here in Hot Springs, Arkansas. But don't let the name fool you, it is incredibly cold, which is why this incredibly nice warm recipe will perfectly hit the spot. Now, I am basing this recipe off of an original recipe from my personal YouTube idol, Chef John, with foodwishes.com. I'm going to link his video in the description below if you want to see his fantastic take on this same dish. That said, he does approach it in more of a savory way, while in this case, we're going for something a little sweeter. Now, because here in the South there are still a few shortages of certain staples, namely milk and eggs, I have had to make a few adjustments to this recipe. Really only one. I am going to be using evaporated milk instead of whole milk. I expect it should work fine, but I really have no idea. However, spoilers, if you're watching the video, that means I posted it. If I posted it, that means it came out fantastic. So anyways, enough of that. Because if you're going to make this recipe, then it appears it is time to prepare. Because you're going to have a plethora of people popping over when these popovers pop over. Hey, let's give it a shot. By now you all know the drill. We're going to preheat our oven ahead of time to 450 degrees. Beautiful. So, you may have noticed we've hit our first big deviation from Chef John's recipe. I am going to preheat my oven before putting my muffins in. He does put them in and then preheat. He says it is a contradictory sort of idea. I am sure he's absolutely right. I will just say I accidentally traditionally preheated my oven before putting in my muffins last time. And honestly, I like the way they came out. So I'm going to just repeat that here because I already know it works. To get started, all we need to do is really mix everything together. I have our oil, flour, eggs, our evaporated milk, our second deviation from Chef John's recipe. I can't find whole milk, and a little bit of salt. So we're gonna just throw it all together. Everything's already room temperature. Once it's in there, we're going to just mix until just blended. Flour in. Salt, yes. Let's do our milk. Gorgeous. Pop in our oil. And with our eggs. Now I don't have a large whisk to do this with. That would be better than my little fork. Never forget to scrape the sides and the bottom. I'm officially switching to a big spoon because this is not working so well with a fork. Okay, I think that's good enough. We're not gonna let this sit. I'm gonna cover it with a little rag. Better would be plastic wrap for about an hour at room temperature or 2 to 3 hours in the fridge to overnight. I will say when I made my best batch of this, I just gave it the hour. So I'm gonna make just 6. This recipe in its entirety will make anywhere from 12 to 14. I'm gonna do 6 because I have no need for 12 to 14 popovers. However, I am going to do 3 different types, all sweet. But in that single muffin tin, I'm going to do 2, what I'm gonna call vanilla, plain. Just a little bit of vanilla extract and some lemon and powdered sugar to give it that Dutch baby feel. I'm going to do the next one, maple. Just a touch of maple syrup in each, very gently stirred in. On the last one, I'm going to go a little more indulgent with some chocolate. I'm going to just chop up very fine some chocolate chips. I've got about a tablespoon here. Sprinkle those on top once I have them in the muffin tin and bake them that way. A little variety. Ultimately, we're still going to get that nice, almost custard crepey texture of the popover itself. But hey, some flavors, they're being different, it'll be worth it. Let's go ahead and just chop this up really fast. Okay, I say we have that pretty finely chopped where I want it. To be clear, we may not use all of this. I'm going to sprinkle it on and see how it looks. If we do put too much of something in there, we're going to weigh it down, and that will sort of affect the popover part of the popover. So, we'll play it by ear. While waiting for the batter, we've chopped our chocolate chips. We can go ahead and prepare our muffin tin now. I'm really just going to get little bits of butter with my bare, clean hands and nicely just kind of mush them in there. Swirl it all the way to the top. All the way to the top. We do not want to risk anything getting stuck. Rinse and repeat. Now is not the time to be stingy. We really want to be sure we have a nice coat. So don't worry about overdoing it. These are indulgences. These are treats. If you're going to try to cut calories anywhere, please do not do it on the part that keeps the popovers from sticking to the pan. Okay, I would say we have those pretty well greased, but you know what? No, I want it to be greasier. Baking spray. Get each one nice and coated. Now we wait. Okay, it's been an hour, so let's go ahead and get this started. I have our batter and I have our prepared muffin tin. I'm going to give this one more mix with my gigantic angry fork that I just found. Now luckily I do have a Pyrex cup here that's got a nice little spout, super convenient. If this were bigger, I honestly would have just mixed all this in there the way Chef John does. I just didn't have that here. I do have an adorable little ladle though in my Airbnb. So I'm going to ladle this in and then pour it into our muffin tin. So we have it to almost a cup, not quite. Don't forget that the amount of batter that we made is really for 12 to 14 popovers. So let's take it easy. We're only going to fill these muffin tins up to about 4/5 of their entirety, because then they will pop over, as the name states. So let's go ahead and do the first few. Gorgeous. And each one of these muffin tins is about, probably half a cup. It is very important not to overfill these. We're just going for that 4/5 amount. I would even say a couple of these look a little overfilled. So I will gently take my little ladle and remove just a bit of it. So these are ready to be flavored. Let's start with the vanilla, our basic. I'm going to do just a little dash in each. You're probably talking no more than maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. I'm going to give it just a little gentle swirl with my fork. Same deal with the maple syrup, just a very quick little dash. And then a very gentle little mix. Try not to scrape the sides. We don't want the butter and the grease to mix in because we need it on the borders to keep it from sticking. Last but not least, our chocolate. I've got all of our fine chopped chocolate here in this tablespoon. I'm going to grab a pinch, just sprinkle it on there. See how it looks. Maybe a little more in that one. Make a huge mess on the countertop. This is my life. Mix. You know what? We're going to add a little more to each. We actually might use almost the whole tablespoon. Look at that. Okay. I would say these are ready to go in the oven. Now, because we did preheat our oven as compared to how Chef John does this, I'm going to say, let's go 25 to 30 minutes. Take a look at it around 25. Be sure they're popping up, but they will start to burn if you're not careful, and they will burn fast. So 25 to 30 minutes, look at 25. Woohoo! So while these are still hot, I'm going to just give them a quick poke with my knife. Ooh, that one came right out. Look at that. Ooh, that is fresh. Poke with the knife. Let some of that steam out. Oh man, these look good. For me, it came out just about 25 minutes. Honestly, it might have even been, it could have probably been a little less. 24 and a half. Okay, let's plate one of these. This is our vanilla. Let me show you how we're going to do this. I don't want to hear any naysayers. We're going to give it a bit of lemon. A very light squeeze, on top of which we will add just a pinch of powdered sugar. If I had a little melted butter, that would also go great on top of this one particularly. That is traditional Dutch baby, melted butter, lemon, powdered sugar. All right, taste test, vanilla Dutch baby popover. My God. The evaporated milk really didn't seem to make that much of a difference. I was afraid maybe the fat content of whole milk versus evaporated milk would cause some kind of chemistry to change things. But honestly, no. This is maybe even better than the ones I made with whole milk. It has this great, crunchy, like a little tambore, great crunchy outside. But the egg, the milk, just makes the inside so custardy, so soft and creamy. Oh, goodness. I have made these savory, a bit of salt, add some cream cheese, some everything bagel mix, and some smoked salmon. Jeez Louise. But this, my friends, is an indulgent dessert. Enjoy it. Nice cup of coffee, cold glass of milk. You will be in heaven. Alright guys, that's it. Café Gabe's take on Chef John's take of popovers. I really hope you all like this one, gave it a shot. Again, with these cold winter months, something like this is just, at the end of the day, you're chilly at home. What better little treat to have than a nice fresh baked something? You could make it sweet, you can make it savory. Again, really, I wanted these to be sweet, but I would say so long as you don't go crazy with adding too many ingredients, you can make them sweet, salty, sour, umami, whatever you want. Everyone, thank you so much for watching the video. If you haven't already, hey, subscribe to the channel. I've got new videos every week. If you tried this one and liked it, like the video. And if you did anything different, have any suggestions, ideas, want to share your own take, please leave a comment. I would love to hear it. Everyone, thank you so much for coming to Café Gabe. Be well, stay safe. Adios. Am I really going to eat all 5 other ones?